beyond the seeds. The power of planting your future even when your garden's full. From vision to victory. Today we're going to talk about the magic that happens if you plant with a clear vision of the future. And in a garden, there's a powerful lesson about imagination. Imagination is the first seed. The journey begins not with effort, but with vision. What you believe is possible shapes what you plant. Neville Goddard's philosophy is all things live in the mind. He calls it the law of the universe. You imagine everything first. And if you look at the Bible, say Mark 11:23, let me paraphrase. Tell that mountain to fall down, believe it, it's going to fall down. So even though the Bible says, once you imagine something first, then you act on with intention and you believe it, it will happen. While working on these 4 pillars for the garden, I believe I was probably meant to be in the garden. I remember back, one of the earliest memories of being about 5, I wanted to have some pumpkins, and I was told those aren't going to grow, and this is in Minnesota. So I took a spoon out of the kitchen. I remember that because I got in trouble. I dug a pretty good little hole, put a couple seeds in there and covered it up and put some water on it. And after I got in trouble with the spoon, I didn't think much of it, and then we went on a vacation. When we came back, those pumpkins had sprouted, and you know what pumpkins do? It vined, it went around the back door, they couldn't get in, and there were 2 nice pumpkins sitting right on the porch. One for me and one for my little brother. I remember that distinctly. So it started in my mind. With intention, I put them in the ground, and lo and behold, we had jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween. You can do this too. And if you think about it, every person that puts a seed in the ground imagines that harvest. They might not know they are, but they really are seeing what they're planting. You put that seed in the ground, you cover that with soil, it disappears, but you know what you planted, and you're expecting tomatoes, or cucumbers, or corn, or what have you. And almost every gardener gets some form of that harvest. And just like that 5-year-old imagining pumpkins, this 60-year-old imagined a garden. Lush and productive. Start small, start now. You don't need to clear your whole garden. Just create space for some intentional seeds. I mean, just take a look at this. So much abundance. You'd think that would be done for the year. The October paradox. Success can feel like a barrier to the future growth. Abundance creates the illusion that there's no space remaining for new seeds. And here's the paradox. My biggest challenge, it's not the bugs, it's not the pests, it's not the weather. It's the room. I don't have room to do what I'm supposed to do next. Pile, plant, protect, and pick. The circular rhythm of growth applies to gardens, business, and life. Each phase feeds the next. Where are you on this circle? In this cycle, it just keeps moving. We need to continue to pile, and then I need to plant. Whether you're 5 or you're 55, that picture in your mind, you put it there and that's what you're gonna get. I had a contributor to this channel give me a banana pup, and look what we have. And I can imagine bananas actually growing on this next year in Oklahoma. You can do this too. Harvest is a product of belief. The outcome isn't necessarily determined by circumstance, but by the belief behind each planted seed. You imagine that harvest before you plant. And that reminds me of the story of the 3 gardeners. The garden taught me that my path wasn't the only one. 3 gardeners, one truth. Whether starting fresh, grieving a loss, thriving abundance, all gardeners face the same challenge. Planting with belief. I was not alone out here. Just like all of us, there are 3 types of gardeners, and we've all gone through all of these phases, I'm sure. First, there's the gardener that's starting from scratch. You know, in life, you start a new job, you go to college, you got a blank slate. You just pile up some mulch and you start. It's a clean canvas. And then you've got the gardener that's faced some loss. A hailstorm, a late frost, something has taken out the garden, some kind of terrible loss. Now you're looking at a barren garden. But then again, you just start over and you put some mulch down. Compost your past. Successes, failure, and grief all become fuel, transformed into nourishment for the next phase. And then there's the one with a thriving garden that is just rolling in abundance. The harvest is coming in. Got more work than he can handle, but he has no place to go. And all of these gardeners with different realities all have the same challenge. And that challenge is to plant. Keep that cycle going. And how do you do that? Well, you have to use your imagination and you have to be intentional. That picture, your imagination, that's the first seed. And I'm not just talking about planting a plant in the garden. I'm talking about anything in life. If you want your business to succeed, you have to imagine what it's going to look like. If you want your life to change, you have to imagine what it's going to look like. Your garden reflects your life. The garden is a metaphor. What you cultivate with your imagination and intention mirrors your personal journey. Before a single root can form, we have to have a vision. We have to intend for something to actually grow out of that soil. We've got to plant with intention. Before roots form, intention drives the act of planting. It's the unseen energy behind every harvest. I got to go back to Goddard. He keeps saying the law of the universe. All things start in your mind. If you can't see it and believe it, it's not going to manifest. And I see this in the garden all the time. We also have to beware. Real life comes at us all the time. Lots of negative things all the time. Gives us doubt, gives us fear. And those images in our head will manifest just as much as the positive ones will. Good news is this journey is circular, and we can get on whenever we want. There's no starting point. We just pile up some mulch, and we try to get that life in the soil going. But our experiences, even our grief, acts as a slow, cold compost for us to get that life going. And then you plant that seed, and you plant it in fertile ground. That mulch, or those experiences, will allow us to plant the seeds of our future. Get that positive image in there and move forward. And for me, here in October, I'm ready to start planting, even though I don't have any room. But I'm not going to forego all of the harvest. We're just going to be intentional. We're going to make a little bit of room, and we're going to keep going. Growth begins in darkness. Seeds thrive in the unseen soil. Transition happens beneath the surface. In truth, in patience. And since I'm going to go ahead and plant right now, I'm going to trust the darkness. I know once I put that seed in the ground and cover it up, it's dark down there, but I have that image in my head, and it'll germinate. I'm not going to fret about it. I'm going to trust the process. You can do this too. Your garden is a reflection of your life. And planting a single seed, that's an act of belief. And it's an act of transforming your imagination into tangible results. Whether you're dealing with abundance or you're dealing with emptiness or anywhere in between, planting any seed is an act of faith. And the harvest is a product of that belief. Come on, let's plant. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.